But we start with correspondent Kevin Corke back at the White House tonight and the latest on Syria. And Kevin, good evening there.
Hey, good evening, Bill. You're right. The White House is making it plain and clear to the Syrian Assad regime and certainly their stakeholders in Russia and Iran about the use of chemical weapons on the Syrian people. Especially this is important when you consider the latest details coming out of the Pentagon about a particular air base 100 miles from Damascus. The statement from the White House was unmistakably direct, putting leaders in Damascus, Tehran, and Moscow on notice. The activities are similar to preparations the regime made before its April 4, 2017 chemical weapons attack. As we have previously stated, the United States is in Syria to eliminate the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. If, however, Mr. Assad conducts another mass murder attack using chemical weapons, he and his military will pay a heavy price. The message, a response to new activities said to have taken place at a Syrian aircraft hangar long associated with chemical weapons outside the city of Homs, the very same base that the U.S. military struck with 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles in early April, after the Assad regime attacked fellow Syrians, killing dozens. On Capitol Hill, UN Ambassador Nikki Haley said the U.S. message was clear, placing the responsibility for any possible American response at the feet of Russia and Iran.
The goal is at this point not just to send Assad a message, but to send Russia and Iran a message that if this happens again, we are putting you on notice. And my hope is that the president's warning will certainly get Russia and Iran to take a second look.
Today, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad visited a Russian base in his country in a show of solidarity and force protection, with a spokesman for Vladimir Putin saying of the U.S. warning, "Certainly we consider such threats to the legitimate leadership of the Syrian Arab Republic unacceptable." Added the Iranian foreign minister, another dangerous U.S. escalation in Syria on fake pretext will only serve ISIS precisely when it's being wiped out by Iraqi and Syrian people. That statement drew skepticism at the State Department.
Are we supposed to buy what the Syrians are saying, that there are no chemical weapons preparations underway? Because in the past, we know that they have killed their own people, which include women and children. So if they say that they're not making any preparations, I'm not certain that we're going to buy that.
A U.S. military strike would come with the support of the United Kingdom, whose defense minister said his country was ready to stand with the U.S.
We fully supported the last strike that took out the aeroplanes and the support that they required to drop chemical weapons. And if the United States is considering a similar strike, then we'll support that too. And I'm discussing all this with the American Defense Secretary at our next meeting in Brussels on Thursday.
Interesting, Bill. There was a bit of confusion earlier in the day about whether or not the State Department was caught off guard by the president's statement, but White House officials insist that every relevant agency was involved in this process from the very beginning. Bill?
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin Corke at the White House tonight.